Hi everyone, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I'm here for your weekly reading beginning February 21st through the 27th. The 27th is my son's 10th birthday. So that's pretty exciting. So this week I decided to use 4 different decks just because I think it's really fun. I already shuffled to save time. I haven't looked at the cards. And let's just get right into the reading. Okay, the first card from the Druid Craft is the Six of Cups. So this is a really nice energy. It's sort of known as the nostalgia card. So, when you're thinking back about past events, the caution of this card is that sometimes you can remember things better or worse than they actually were. Whereas if you could, go back in time and relive the experience, it probably your memory of it isn't accurate just because, that's human nature. And so, I mean, this can come up in things like, if you maybe you're single and you're wishing for your relationship. Now this is just my own personal advice. I am not a psychiatrist, psychologist, any sort of training as a counselor, but here's how I see nostalgia over relationships. The relationship broke up for a reason, and concentrate on the bad, not the good, because it's the bad that was the reason that you broke up. So don't like, I had this boyfriend in my late teens, early 20s, through a lot of my 20s. And he honestly treated me like crap. He was like my first boyfriend. But we did so much fun stuff. Like, we skied all the time. We camped all the time. We were always doing stuff, fishing, out in the boat, swimming, windsurfing. I mean, just always doing things. And I really like that. However, so if I just concentrated on that, and that's why I broke up and went back with him like 2 or 3 different times before it finally stuck. He would always, so yes, we did all those fun things, but he would always ruin it. Like, he had this really bizarre temper, and would just all of a sudden like pick a fight for literally like no reason, and just ruin things. So I finally was like, you know what, Jen, don't think about all the fun stuff you used to do. Think about the fact that he always turned mean and crazy and angry. You know what I mean? And it kind of tampers down, is that the word, the nostalgia for making things better than they were. You know what I mean? Just because you don't want to go back to someone. Usually you've broken up for a reason, unless it was like the timing wasn't right because someone moved away or something, that the relationship was really happy. So the same thing can kind of happen for work. There's always going to be people in your work atmosphere that make it challenging. If it's really toxic, or someone's abusive, which I've actually, again, had happen, yes, get away and leave. But be careful that you're not too nostalgic about your old job, because if you went back to it, you may have felt the same way you're feeling now, because I think a lot of it is just that we're not working in our true life's purpose. And then even if you are, sometimes, there's just monotony and cycles where we're feeling uninspired. So look for ways to be inspired. And I think some of the ways we can do that is remembering back on the wonderment of being a child, stopping and smelling the roses, being grateful for each day, enjoying looking at the stars, just try to be mindful of the simple things in life, and realize how lucky we are to wake up healthy every day, or wake up at all, and that we have a job, and things like that, because it can always be worse, and it's usually never, unless you're dealing with significant, health diagnoses, or someone's died, or let's put things in perspective. If you just, don't really like your job, well, look for a new job. But remember, some people don't have jobs and would really like one, and whatever. You see where I'm going. Ooh, the Two of Cups. Nice. I like the Two of Cups in this deck because it's kind of interesting. It makes me think that this relationship is still, either you haven't fully revealed to someone that your feelings, or you two are sort of not, haven't come out about your relationship, and you're just sort of in that magical time where you're just sort of enjoying each other and getting to know each other, but not really having come out as a couple together. But I also see this could be sort of like a little bit in your mind. Maybe you're obsessing about someone, but it's fun. I mean, it's a happy card. It's kind of an exciting card. It makes you feel good and happy, and gives you something exciting to sort of think about. Or maybe you're just emailing someone, or you know what I mean? It's sort of that beginning of a love relationship or a good partnership. And for some reason, I feel like this is sort of, this is a very sort of wistful, daydreamy card in this deck. And I sort of feel like maybe a little bit of the daydream is, okay, sorry, I'm going to completely change gears because this sort of came through. I almost see now that it's kind of like the point in the relationship where you have kids and things have become super comfortable, and you're sort of maybe looking back. He's sort of looking back to this card about when you were in love and it was just the two of you and exciting. So that was a message for someone. That was sort of a total aside. But I feel like we're going to be daydreaming this week about the past, the future, what could be, sort of, it's an emotional, we have two cups already, an emotional sort of, there's sort of this yearning, but you're not sort of, it's not like a everything sucks type of yearning. It's more of just sort of wishing and hoping and dreaming about what it might be like. And then we have the Eight of Wands from the Barbara Moore's Steampunk Tarot. Really love this deck. So the Eight of Wands this is something that happens very abruptly, and it's a good thing. Okay, it's a message. It's an offer. It's something that happens very abruptly. And even if, for example, even if you put a job application out there, or even if you just went on a dating site, or even, you know what I mean? So you were literally sort of seeking something. It happens so fast, it almost takes you off guard. You're kind of like you don't feel like it may be what you wanted, but you didn't feel almost like you had the time to process it, even if you've been daydreaming about it a lot, like these cards. So I feel like something we've been daydreaming about may come to fruition somehow this week. So you might meet someone, you may get a job. I'm feeling it around those two areas specifically. So it's funny. It's like if you've been crushing on someone, right? And maybe you guys have been flirting and you think they like you too or whatever, but then all of a sudden they ask you out and you're like, oh crap, you panic, and then you're like, do I like him? Do I really like him? When faced with the reality of the situation, you kind of go a little nuts for, you're kind of wigged out, but then everything calms down. So it's that type of energy that I'm talking about. So it's probably something that you've been hoping for or daydreaming about is going to come to the forefront and still, even though you wanted it, maybe take you a little bit by surprise. I love this. And aren't we having a full moon on the 22nd, right? So in Virgo, I'm not an astrologer, but I think that's what people are saying. So here we have full moon, completion. Yes. So this 8 of Wands is going to bring about an end and a new beginning, a full cycle, right? And I also think the full moon always, we have these 2 cups cards as well. That brings about it. Our emotions are sort of heightened and maybe hyper focused and more on our minds, and a little bit more, and in that way, a little bit harder to control because they do come to the surface more around the full moon, it seems like. Um, So you may be feeling a little bit more emotional, and not necessarily in a bad way. These are nice cards. So I wasn't describing, we don't have the 4 of Cups, we don't have the 8 of Cups, we don't have the 5 of Cups, that we don't have the negative cups up here. We have the positive ones. So whenever the moon comes out, it's always listen to your dreams, listen to your daydreams. Um, Make sure you have a pad and paper around, and jot ideas down, dreams down this week, and things like that are really important because we get flashes of inspiration around these times. But it's going to be pretty, I would say synergistic. I don't really like that word. It's going to be it's going to be a week where I feel like some of our daydreams are going to meet reality. Yes, that's what I wanted to say. That's what I'm trying to get out after how many minutes? 12 minutes, not too bad this week. So I think I'm going to leave it at that. I don't know. I'm very excited. So I feel like something exciting on some level is going to happen this week, or we're going to feel sort of excited or um, about something. So thank you so much for watching. And as always, I really appreciate you stopping by my channel. Take care.